Senator Mark Peake, Lynchburg senator, has introduced a bill in the General Assembly that would regulate horse-drawn buggies that you see a lot in this region, I'll say, with Amish families, a measure that would mandate that certain reflectors be displayed on buggies and require that they be visible for at least 500 feet. It's drawn some concern from other lawmakers in the General Assembly that the Amish, in many cases, don't embrace modern technology, and will this infringe on their religious rights? But Senator Peake says that he introduced this bill at the request of the Campbell County Sheriff's Office because of the growing prevalence of Amish families and on the roadways. And so joining us now to talk more about it is Captain Jeff Rader with the Campbell County Sheriff's Office. And Captain Rader, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Hey, good morning, Mary. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for joining us. Talk about your concern, the Campbell County Sheriff's Office concern, and what prompted this legislation from Senator Peake in your eyes.
Well, I'd take you back about 3 years ago, mostly in the southern part of the county, which is, the Gladys, Windfall, Brookneal area. There began to be a influx of Amish families coming in to the community from Ohio, New York, some from Pennsylvania, just to come down here and, live. In talking with them, it's due to, taxes are lower, a lot of land for sale down here, things of that nature. So with that, we really haven't had Amish in our community here in the county, a lot in Charlotte County and a lot in Buckingham, but not a lot in Campbell County. So not a lot of people, especially drivers, really know how to react if they, are on the roadway and come up behind a horse and buggy. So that kind of drew Sheriff Clark's attention, and he assigned me to look into it again about 3 years ago due to safety concerns.
And have there been accidents with cars running into the back of buggies or anything like that in Campbell County?
There has. Red House Road area, they travel that frequently. And then I believe even Bethany Road, I would say it's about 3 accidents, 2 of which the horse was injured, and there may have been minor injuries. Nothing substantial as of yet.
And as part of looking into this, did you talk to people in Amish communities about the buggies and possibly having reflectors or other technology?
I have. Been working with them pretty close. Know them mostly the Millers. That's their last name. They're a big family down Pigeon Run Road. I'd say give or take, there's probably close to 75. Again, maybe closer to 100 Amish in that area. I'd go down there. I wouldn't say weekly, but bi-weekly, just to check in on them and see how they're doing. And John Turner with the state police, he's been instrumental in this with the county, working with us. He's met with me and in the Amish community to give his take on what the state police feel and about the safety aspects that goes along with the state troopers in the area.
And what sort of reaction did you get from them? Do they seem receptive to the idea of adding safety equipment to their vehicles?
The families are receptive. They want to be safe too. They don't want to get hit or get hurt or have their children get hurt, but it's above them. They're a very strict conservative church, so they have to go through elders, and that's who kind of runs everything. So we've met with them on 2 separate occasions at Campbell County Sheriff's Office. They actually came down from Ohio. So it's very, very important to them as far as the religious aspects goes, and they just don't want to have the neon lights or yellow lights, red lights. They stay away from all that. Batteries, any technology really, they're trying to stay away from.
That's what the bill would require, is the reflectors.
Correct.
the wrecks that you've seen, what's the primary cause? Is it a vehicle not being able to see the buggy, or coming up on it too fast? I mean, what's typically the cause?
In my opinion, you have a driver that's, coming up behind a buggy. They're doing maybe 45 to 55, give or take, whatever the road, the posted speed limit is. And then you have a buggy that at max speed maybe 12, so maybe they're doing 7, and you come into a curve and then come out of a curve, and you're hitting and then having a rear end collision because you can't stop the vehicle in time. At dusk, I feel like that's even worse than either dark or daylight. It's that rate when it's starting to get dark that for some reason is it makes it hard to see the buggy also. Again, most of the stuff's going on in the southern end of the county because that's where they live, and they can only travel so far with a horse and buggy. But at the same time, a lot of your back roads in some cases are more dangerous than the straightaways because of the curves.
So the families themselves are open to it, but their elders who they're not from around here, have been resistant to this proposed change.
Yeah, they definitely are. They're concerned. Again, not only because of taxes and stuff, they also left the northern states because of the bills and different laws coming out that's restraining them. There's a lot of different Amish sets and communities. For your listeners that know some of the Amish in Buckingham and Charlotte, they have the lights, they have batteries, they have stuff, reflective stuff. But this is a different group of Amish. They're very conservative, and they're resistant to change.
We're speaking with Captain Jeff Rader with the Campbell County Sheriff's Office about the proposed safety devices on the Amish buggies that Senator Peake has proposed, but he's gotten some pushback in the General Assembly because they want to check with the Amish first and make sure it's not infringing on their religious convictions, which it sounds like in this case in Campbell County it is. He also brought up that Foster Fuels, which is a big Campbell County-based company, that company has been concerned about this as well because their tankers are traveling those roads. Have you heard that concern from them, Captain Rader?
I have, and the sawmill, the log trucks, they're a lot harder. Foster's trucks and the log trucks, they're a lot harder to stop. When they have tons and tons of payload on the back, they don't stop like a vehicle. It's definitely a concern.
We have listener Bill notes that in Pennsylvania they post warning signs on the side of the road to give a driver a heads up if there are buggies traveling. Do you know if there's any thought of trying that?
Yeah, I'd love to discuss that. I'm glad you brought it up. We actually met with Mark Peake and VDOT. I believe the state police was there too, and we spoke to VDOT in depth about this and actually did our research and saw what roads they were traveling the most. Actually had meetings with them, and they let us know what roads they were traveling the most. And then VDOT posted these signs. They've never posted any signs in Campbell County before this, but there's several signs that are posted now, the horse and buggy warning signs, which is great. I mean, I'm glad VDOT, they're on the ball and got the warning signs out there.
And do you know if we would expect more people from either this particular Amish community or another one to be moving into the area down here? You talk about the lower taxes and land for sale.
Oh yeah, they're continuing to grow. Like I said, just in the last 3 years, that they've grown exponentially, and also they've built a church, they built a school right in the area, so they're here to stay, and they are part of our community now.
I was looking up some recent stories involving vehicle versus horse-drawn buggy collisions, and almost always it's the buggy being rear-ended by the vehicle. There was one back in October of 2021 where it was in Cumberland County, 10 members on board, and the man who was driving, I think, was killed. And all the kids were taken to the hospital. The driver of the truck that hit him wasn't injured, but police had said that charges are pending. I never followed up on that case to find out what the charges were, if any, against the driver. Are there, if you're going the speed limit and you round a corner and there's something there in front of you that's going so much slower, and you hit it, are you charged in that case?
Usually, the state police usually works all the wrecks in Campbell County. However, it all depends. I hate to say depends. I don't like to say that very much, but it's all by the code. The driver has to have control of their vehicle. So usually, Mary, if you're striking somebody, you rear end somebody, most of the time you're going to be at fault. However, if again it's dark and you can't see what's in front of you, it's going to, in my opinion, go against the horse and buggy most of the time, because it's not the driver's fault if you can't see what's in front of you.
Captain Jeff Rader, and last time we talked about this was a week or so ago. Have you heard anything about this measure's fate in the General Assembly?
I haven't. I know I've talked to Eric there, and again, Mark Peake's been on the ball about it. And in speaking with them, both guys, they got a lot of constituents that are reaching out to them because they're concerned. We get a lot of calls through our dispatch center because of safety, or maybe the horse and buggy isn't getting over, and then you have a long line of cars that makes it unsafe, and then people get impatient. So there's a lot of moving pieces here. But in the end, I know, talking with Sheriff Clark, we want to resolve it and not infringe on their religious rights, and just have both sides safe and agree on a bill that is best for the community in Campbell County.
Captain Jeff Rader, Campbell County Sheriff's Office, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Mary.